Hi, I'm Darcy Taylor, LEAF Mobile Group CEO, and this is our Twitter Q&A. So our first question comes from @chud_y, and he is asking, do you consider increasing your game portfolio by developing any mid-core titles, or do you prefer to focus on your core genre or category competencies? And then second question is, what's your view on multi-genre approach? Thanks for the question, Chud. So our studios are the game experts, and they're independently operated with the support of LEAF. Their competencies and entrepreneurial views drive their studio product development. Currently, our group studios mainly operate in the idle genre. We are always open to the right opportunities in other genres as well, and that will be a continuing pursuit for us in the future. So we have a question today from @1 Sean Murray, and he asks, how much of LEAF shares do insiders own? Okay, Sean, thank you for that question. So if we look at insiders, including myself, we own around 70% of LEAF, and I would recommend you check the latest CD filings for more detail on that insider ownership, in addition to seeing any recent insider transactions going forward. So our question today comes from @ElectNux, and he is asking, how much will you be focusing on acquisitions this year, and what's your strategy for this? And then he follows up with any exciting internal developments. Well, like Nux, M&A is a key pillar of our growth strategy. We look for companies that fit our culture and our long-term goals, and also have solid track records of success with games. Specifically, we're focused on mobile, though we're flexible on genre as well as geography. Regarding the any exciting internal developments, there's never a dull day at LEAF, and it's exciting every day we come to work. So we have a question coming here from @Alti_H. I believe this is his second question. He follows up with the question, how will you see your next year for LEAF? IDFA, people probably getting back to normal routines at some point. But how is this going to affect LEAF, or will it even have? Thanks, Alti, for that question. As far as IDFA impact, that impact's still unknown at this point, although it's equal across the mobile space. We've had a project team wargaming it since the announcement, as well as testing some of the pop-ups for privacy purposes throughout some of our games. I will say that the industry has adapted historically to other turbulence in the market such as this, and continue to grow going forward. I don't see this being something over the long term that slows that industry growth. And on top of that, LEAF and our portfolio of IP-led titles, we see it as an opportunity, being that the fact that our IP-led titles have existing fan bases that we can target specifically and much more fluidly than many other games that are sort of searching for a specific player. So we're looking at it as an opportunity to further grow our IP-led games. Your second question, I think, alludes to the pandemic impact. Obviously, the pandemic had a very tremendously strong upswing for all digital entertainment companies. Obviously, LEAF was no exception. We saw tremendous player install increases in 2020, specifically in the first half. One thing that is noteworthy is that what we saw in the behavior of these players is that Once they entered our games, we saw similar KPIs that we saw from our existing player base. So if that being the case, our job is to engage, entertain, and retain those players across our portfolio. And we viewed this, I'll say, pandemic impact as an accelerator to our business, and reset the bench or the baseline for us to build from. So we just see ourselves sort of stepping off from there and further growing our business going forward. So thank you, Alti, for that question. So we have a question coming today from at Brandon Volmer. And Brandon asks, thanks for opening to some questions. I have a few. First being, can you provide investors with more past financial data? Can you provide some context on previous, existing, and future sources of revenue? And what are your margins? And did you identify any trends over time? Okay, Brandon. Well, the best place to find data, or financial data, is on SEDAR. Many investors are looking for more financial data, especially consolidated. This data can be found in a few places, and I would recommend you look at our short form prospectus or management discussion for this information. This also can be found on SEDAR. The next place I would recommend is to call our investor relations group for assistance. You can contact them via the information provided on our website. As far as revenue trends, we expect our near-term revenue to be made up majority of in-app purchases and advertising. We don't see that changing from our core game business. However, we do expect to see increased contribution from our tech platform, IdleKit, as we bring more partners on to the platform. Okay, Brandon, thank you for that question. So we have a question here from at I am the Hag, or I think it's I am the AG, I believe, pronouncing it. Thanks for the offering of this virtual shareholder session. Are you exploring any other in-game revenue streams? And if so, what are they? Then post Eastside Games transactions, do you plan on any other smaller M&A targets? If so, would they be in the same category? Could you envision going outside of the industry? Okay, well, thank you for that question. Well, our main revenue streams are in-game in-app purchases as well as advertising. And we expect these two game streams to be the main contributors for the near future. We do plan to continue with our M&A strategy within the mobile game industry with accretive and disciplined and M&A outlook being one of our major key growth pillars. And then lastly, currently, we do not have any plans to pursue businesses in other industries. So our question is coming in today, which is asking, does LEAF plan to list in the US or any other international exchanges? And how can US investors invest in LEAF? Very good question. This has been quite common recently. We most recently graduated from the TSX Venture to the TSX. And this was a big step to widening the investor pool to participate in LEAF. I will say we are actively looking for additional ways to make investing in LEAF more accessible for all interested investors this year. Currently, for US investors, we recommend you contact your broker about buying TSX listed securities as the best approach to participate in our stock currently. Okay, so we have a question coming in here, and the tweeter posted, is LEAF being covered by anyone on the street? Okay, good question. Yes, it is. I believe gentleman's name is Neil Gilmer at Haywood. Was the first analyst to begin covering LEAF. He issued the report 2 days after we began trading on the TSX. Neil's an interesting analyst. He's been at the forefront of covering breakout Canadian gaming stories. And we encourage you to either reach out to your Haywood rep for the full research report, or you can obviously search it on Google. We are also expecting more analyst coverage to be initiated over the next coming months. So please keep your eyes out for that, that coverage coming down the pipe. There was a recent announcement about IdleKit. Can you tell us more about the platform, and is Unity a good comp for IdleKit? Let me just say, we love the comparison to Unity. They're an impressive company, and we hope in the future that we will enjoy valuation multiples on revenue as they do. I think they're around 30x times revenue. Unity is a great comparable to IdleKit in the sense that it helps game developers build better games faster and at a lower cost. However, we also see some key differences. Unity is an engine that allows game developers to build any game that they can manage, where IdleKit is a platform framework built on top of Unity or on engines like Unreal, but it allows professional game studios to build a very specific type of game. And I think the big plus of it is that it provides them a much higher likelihood of success on that build. So if you define what it is IdleKit's Eastside Games core technology software. It was internally developed by them. It's a game framework for building narrative idle games. The platform is not only utilized by ESG, but it's also open to third-party developers on a partnership basis. Currently, we focus the kit specifically on the idle genre, but we also have other game kits on the roadmap to build out in the future. So ultimately, we feel that this is a tool set that will change how games are developed in the industry, materially decreasing the launch cost and timelines, and for games developed using our platform.